I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace, and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter if you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you're the toughest or the proclaimed weakest. I greet all you all with the same universal greetings of peace, and the blessings of God be with you. I want y'all to hear this story about a 20-year-old military female by the name of Vanessa Guillen. Listen to her sister's story, and I'm going to tell you a little something.
Yeah. My sister Vanessa Guillen was sexually harassed, yet nothing was done to it. For her lacks of responsibility, safety, and respect, because they didn't respect my sister. They didn't keep my sister safe. They always try to cover up for each other. Why? My sister's a human too. She deserves respect. She deserves to be heard.
Now you hear what she said? She deserved to be respected, and she deserved to be heard. Her sister was mutilated on the army base of Fort Hood. A 20-year-old now on the base. Now, they said the one black soldier specialist supposedly killed her with a hammer on the base. Now, he had to clean up all this blood, get the body up off the base. Him and I don't know if the female is white or Spanish, but they mutilated the body. How could this happen? I believe, just like this family believe, it's a cover-up. You see, it happened in February of 2012 with my young daughter. But I'm going to tell y'all the rest of it later. But I want y'all to hear some more of this story. Help support these people, y'all. They're going up against the military. Just like me going up against the Charles, Missouri Police Department and the Sheriff Department. This is the young female soldier that was killed on the army base now. Went missing April the 22nd, 2020. Listen to a little bit more of the story, y'all. Help support this family.
The guy outranks her. He's bigger than her. So, okay, so he's not in her command. That's not a reason to say, oh no, there's no sexual harassment.
Attorney Natalie Kawam represents the family of murdered soldier Vanessa Guillen. They maintain Guillen was sexually harassed by fellow soldier Aaron Robinson, despite denials from Army Command.
The criminal investigation has not found any connection between sexual harassment and Vanessa's disappearance.
Robinson is suspected of beating Guillen to death with a hammer on the Fort Hood Army post April 22nd and allegedly recruiting his married girlfriend, Cecily Aguilar, to bury Guillen's dismembered remains. Military investigators suggest Robinson killed Guillen because she threatened to expose his affair with Aguilar. Kawam and the Guillen family aren't buying it.
They should have came to the American people and said, we screwed up. We lost a great soldier that did nothing wrong. But they didn't say that. Instead, they denied any wrongdoing. They denied the truth. And in fact, they lied because they said that there was no sexual harassment.
Guillen's murder revived concerns about a toxic culture toward women in the military and the code of silence that enables it.
Just because we don't see the problem doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Guillen's death sparked calls for an independent investigation and changes to the military's reporting structure for sexual misconduct.
Confidentiality is a key factor in people reporting, and if they feel that their the victimization or their story isn't going to be confidential, they're very hesitant.
There has to be a system in place that provides for a neutral third-party agency to review that complaint. Has no skin in the game.
The U.S. Army Forces Command sent a team to Fort Hood to inspect its sexual harassment prevention program, known as SHARP. According to the Department of Defense, the number of reports of sexual assault from service members has been on the rise since 2012. From 2018 to 2019 alone, the number of reports rose 3%, the DoD said in a report. In 2018, among active duty members, an estimated 24% of women and 6% of men said they experienced sexual harassment, up from 21% of women and 5% of men in 2016. Kawam said Guillen did not report through her chain of command because she feared blowback, and it appears she was not alone. In the wake of her death, service members are sharing their stories using the hashtag #IamVanessaGuillen.
They were talking about how they were sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, demonized for saying something, beat up for saying something, kicked out for saying something.
The accounts echo what service members have said in surveys conducted by the Defense Department. Most incidents occur between people ages 17 to 24 who work or live together, and most reports come from junior enlisted women just like Guillen, whose alleged attacker is the same rank or one grade higher. Guillen's death has cast a harsh spotlight on Fort Hood, a city within the city of Killeen, Texas.
No one is safe on that base, and that's why we need a congressional investigation.
In March, 14 people were arrested in a prostitution sting, including 6 active duty members accused of agreeing to pay money for sex. The scandal is just another sign of the troubling culture that exists on the military base. Aware Central Texas is the family violence center just outside the gates of Fort Hood.
That's just a little something about Fort Hood, not to mention how the military, not just the military, but the police will cover up things too. We'll get back to it in a minute. You just seen a couple of videos of the murder of a 20-year-old Spanish Army specialist at Fort Hood by the name of Vanessa Guillen. You heard her sister speak, you heard her lawyer speak, her family lawyer speak, and you heard some of the people from the ranking military speak, saying that they don't believe it was sexual harassment. Her body she came up missing off the Army base on April the 22nd, 2020. They found her body buried, been mutilated. They said a black Army specialist supposedly killed her on the base with a hammer, beating her to death. That means blood would be splattered all over. I can't see one military guy able to get all that blood where she got killed at, to get her body off that base, take it somewhere else and bury it. You know, unless somebody else had something to do with it. Her family said she complained about sexual harassment. She was a beautiful young lady. And we know sexual harassment happens in all forms of jobs. There's women that accuse President Donald Trump, Bill Crosby, R. Kelly, and many other men and women of sexual misconduct or sexual harassment. Now, they had, the military had, they say independent investigators. Most times when they say independent, it's somebody within their ranks to investigate. Do you think if the military know that somebody killed somebody on their base, knowing that they gonna be liable, do you think that they gonna come to the conclusion, you see what I'm saying, that this woman was sexually harassed? I'm gonna give you an example. In 2012, when my youngest daughter was 5 years old, when she came home from school February the 1st, 2012, here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, from the Hearns Elementary school here in the Charleston R1 school district. The first thing she did when she got off the bus is told me what a bus driver did to her. And I asked her questions. In no way she's supposed to have been on that bus along with the bus driver, because I signed a contract with the then director of transportation who was black, with then the principal of the elementary school who was white. And my daughter was to go when she got out of school at 2:45, she was to go to from kindergarten, go to the office for the first and the fifth graders, through the fifth grade would be, until her sister got out of school and they rode on the same bus. But they had been sending her to the bus, straight to the bus, with this white bus driver that came from Arkansas. It don't make no difference really what color it is, but the reason why I'm saying white is because here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, I done experienced a lot of racism and injustice towards me and my family. All you have to do to see. Many attacks, physical and verbal, police do nothing. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, they said that they had an independent investigator. And guess who the independent investigator was? I mean, an independent professional who looked into the allegations that my daughter said that this white bus driver did. The independent individual happened to be the Charleston, Missouri police officer who was the resource officer for the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, who I complained about her too. So how could she be an independent professional? One of the other cold investigators was one of the ones that I was going up against, the director of transportation. All of them in there together. Y'all, let's support Vanessa Guillen's family. Let's support them. Not just because she's Spanish, but because she's a human being. Peace be still.